what's going on YouTube? Chilling, right? So, to catch you back up on what's been going on with me, I guess, is we just went through a snowstorm. A really crazy one. Got like 5 feet of snow. Now, if you ask me my personal opinion on snow, I don't have nothing against it. I think snow's alright. You know, it's quiet. I like it. I kind of like it when it snows because everybody ain't running around here like a chicken with their fucking head cut off. In Georgia, when it gets too hot, like motherfuckers start acting stupid. You know, and that's always the thing that kind of sat wrong with me. Now, me and my girlfriend are sitting on the couch. I can't remember what the fuck we was watching. I think we was watching Hell's Kitchen. And she's telling me about this person on YouTube who, you know, kind of does red pill content. So she's listening, you know, to some of it and, you know, finding her own way through it. Cool. But the guy starts talking about the whole phase, right? And I guess his whole narrative that I can understand from right off the top of my head is that, you know, the basic gist that he was getting at was like, you know, a 304 phase, which I don't like the term 304. I think it's kind of sleazy and cheap. But, you know, that a whole phase is bad for marriage, right? This is the basic narrative that he's giving. And I'll say this first, right? I dislike when people speak in the internet. I dislike when people speak in the internet, meaning like these buzzwords, these certain types of terms that, you know, that motherfuckers say. Like when I hear niggas say 304, fuck. When I hear niggas say 304, when I hear motherfuckers say 304 phase, whole phase, and shit like that, right? I dislike it immediately because when I start hearing dudes speaking internet, that just tells me that a lot of y'all thinking emotionally and not thinking practically. Now, when niggas, to me, when I think of people speaking internet, right? That tells me a lot of shit, really. God damn it, motherfucker, got snow on the top of this truck. That tells me that a lot of y'all are not thinking very practical. Just think about it like this, right? In order for a woman to have a whole phase, what does she have to do? She has to sleep around, right? Now, the counter argument to that argument would be, you know, most guys that make YouTube channels that talk about this type of content, they're trying to sleep with as many women as can, you know, as they can. So how's a woman not supposed to have a whole phase when every dude running around here is trying to fuck as much as he can? It literally doesn't make sense. Like, when I hear whole phase, right? Like when I hear the type of shit I hear niggas say on the internet, like, oh, I mean, a whole phase is bad for marriage. Like, just that sentence in itself, like, is asinine, right? Think about a person that's married. If you ain't never been through a whole phase, if your girlfriend has never experienced anything or done anything or lived their life or had any type of body count anywhere, like, if she ain't never been fucked over by a guy, had her heart broken, you know, done some shit, got drunk somewhere, like, had her feel of her sex, like, because the way it works with them is like dick gets thrown at women. It has to get to a point where it's like they look for, you know, characteristics of a good guy instead of just dick. And the only way you find that out is for her to have a whole phase. Like, okay, imagine meeting someone that never had a whole phase, meaning like, you know, never did shit, never went nowhere. Yeah, she'll be purest, you know, purest motherfucking holy water, I guess. But she ain't got no type of walk around experience, no type of fucking know-how, don't know how to navigate situations. Like, when I hear motherfuckers say that, you know, whole phase is a bad thing, y'all are not thinking very practical. Because there's gonna be points where your girlfriend or wife is not around you. And if she don't know how to handle that type of attention, meaning like, you know, guys just approaching her just gets her all giddy and shit and makes her act stupid, you are not going to be married or in that relationship for very long. Because the first dude that knows how to talk better than you, he will take your girlfriend from you. And granted, this same thing can still happen if you're in a relationship, but I'm just saying, like, the chances of it, to me, if you had to ask me, it's a lot lower. Meaning, like, she has to understand that there is, you know, something to lose within this relationship. And when you take away the whole phase thing, like, y'all be wanting, when I hear niggas talk, it's like y'all be wanting women to be nuns. Like, y'all don't want them to dress a certain way, y'all don't want them to act a certain way, y'all don't want a motherfucker to live life. Like, how's a motherfucker supposed to know how to do anything or keep you entertained? Like, cause think about it. If she don't have a whole face, she don't know how to suck no dick. Like, it may sound crazy, but I'm just saying, like, if she never been nowhere, done nothing, experienced nothing, lived nothing, got drunk, had sex in the back of a car, like, what are you talking about? Y'all just be saying shit. And all this anti-whole face shit, that just comes from ego. It's the same thing when niggas that ask questions like, well, what's your body count? Like, that's just some shit that men made up to make themselves feel better. Because in reality, most women get sex faster than most dudes. Most dudes don't even, there are guys that don't even have sex. Like, there's a study somewhere that say the average guy has like 10 sex partners in his life. Like, when you think about it, like, and a lot of y'all want women to live in that same paradigm, and that's not the case. So if every dude out here is trying to talk to women or be in someone's DMs or say something, because the way the internet has shifted it is pretty much lopsided like this, where all the dudes are messaging all the women, like, if that's the case, right, what makes you think a motherfucker's supposed to just sit there and not do shit, not live, not go do nothing, not try nothing? You know what I mean? Like, how is that argument even valid? I'm just saying, like, look, I get your girl acting like a hoe in the sense of being in the relationship. That's one thing. But a person living there, like, okay, you can't expect a woman that you've never, not even met yet, to have just been sitting in the house, watching SpongeBob, drawing pictures, washing dishes, and learning how to cook. Like, there's more to being like a long-term partner than just, oh, well, you know, I just wanted you to be untouched. Like, you got all these bodies. Like, that's because you're comparing yourself to the other men that she's had. Which, I don't know why niggas even give a fuck about that shit in the first place. Motherfucker could have told me they had 200 people. I would have been like, all right, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Like, I just don't concern myself with shit that's trivial. But I also understand because niggas have egos. And a lot of y'all want to feel good about the type of shit that you're doing. You don't want to know the real shit that women really think. Because if most girls, like, you want to be the one with all the bodies, but you don't want her to have nobody, so you can say, like, all my girls are virgins. That's not a realistic thing. Like, yeah, it exists, but it's not realistic. And I just feel like when niggas say shit like that, bro, you talking the side of your ass. Like, what motherfucker, especially the way shit is nowadays, like, unless she lives off in the boonies or something on a farm milking a cow, like, what motherfucker's finna be 19, 18, not go party, not go wear skimpy shit, not get drunk, not get taken home by some dude, or have some type of wild ass sex life or something like that prior to you? Like, I don't understand that notion where y'all believe these types of things, but I also understand why a guy would think that, because it just makes you feel better. Meaning, like, you know, you don't want to feel inadequate. Like, in reality, you would want a motherfucker you date to have had a whole face to some degree. Like, bruh, you don't want nobody that don't know their way around a bedroom, and the only way that's gonna work is if you have some type of experience. It's the same way jobs work, nigga. Like, okay, the other day, right? I think this might have been Monday. Today's Tuesday. Yeah, it might have been Monday. Well, actually, it was Monday. So a guy pulls into our yard, gets stuck up on the snow, right? They done gave this man a whole entire 18-wheeler to drive around and all this other shit to deliver loads with. A motherfucker got 1 month of experience. How well you think a motherfucker with 1 month of truck driving experience is supposed to fare out here in these conditions, in this weather, low bridge clearances? You got to know your weight, how much is on your drive axle, following distance, steer tires, tread depth. You won't know that on the first month. And a lot of y'all want to marry people that think like that. I'm telling you, if you had to ask me, experience is the best teacher. Being overly experienced is what makes you sit the fuck down. If you had to ask me personally, like, I've done more than enough of my share of bullshit. I'm cool. I don't got nothing else to prove to nobody. Like, I know to bring my ass to home, you know, bring my ass home, sit the fuck down somewhere. Like, but when you ain't experienced and you ain't never had no whole phase, you ain't never lived no your life or whatever, no kind of way, like, you won't know what the fuck to do when shit happens to you. You'll just be there like a fish out of water, floundering like a motherfucker. Like, oh, well, a whole face is bad for marriage. You better hope your motherfucking girl don't have a whole face, because she ain't gonna be able to sit the fuck down nowhere if she has it. But again, this is just my thoughts on, you know, the shit that niggas be saying on YouTube that don't make fucking sense.